But let's go ahead and get into the Chicago Bears and this New England Patriots game, where clearly the clear-cut underdog was going to be the Chicago Bears. And I was extremely surprised that the Chicago Bears actually came out here and was able to put up 33 points during the course of this game. I'm thinking like this, like the Chicago Bears really struggled against everybody. The magical genius of Bill Belichick was going to be able to scheme up a defense to stop the Chicago Bears and possibly hold them to -5 points or something like that. That's how confident that I was that the Chicago Bears were not going to be able to move the ball against this New England Patriots team. But I'm wrong again. When it turns out, the offensive coordinator decided to let Justin Fields loose, had him run around a little bit. Justin Fields led the team in rushing with 82 yards and had a touchdown, averaging 5.9 yards a carry. As far as throwing, 13 for 21, 179 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. But we see some improvement with the offense. I want to look at the positive with that. We see some improvement with the offense. Like, don't have Justin Fields come out there, be as stationary, have him move around, use his legs. Like, I feel like the Chicago Bears could adapt their offense to something more in tune to what the Baltimore Ravens have. You know, do a little bit of read option, have Justin Fields running with the ball a little bit. I think the last time I checked, Justin Fields runs like a 4.3 40. So I feel like that would benefit him a lot, like not throwing the ball as much. I feel like the 21 attempts, that's good enough for him. Anything higher than that, I feel like that can be troublesome as far as going into the turnover category. But I felt like they did an excellent job running the football. David Montgomery contributed with 15 carries, 62 yards. Khalil Herbert contributed with 12 carries for 62 yards. So they have three guys. That can get it done on the ground. Like, it's low risk, high reward when you're able to run the football, and it opens up a lot of things when you're able to run the ball effectively. So I would expect the Chicago Bears to continue with success, go out there, play good defense, and just do not turn the ball over, and just rely on your heavy hitters as far as your rush attack, Justin Fields, David Montgomery, and Khalil Herbert. Now, I will say on the flip side, on the fantasy perspective, like, y'all got to make up your mind who you want to run with the ball, because I got both these guys, David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert. Like, you got to let me know, like, who I got to talk to know, like, what the game plan is, who's going to get the lion's share of the love for that game coming up, because, like, this is getting crazy. I'm like, the game when David Montgomery came back a couple weeks ago, I'm thinking, all right, we're going to ease him back into the offense. And whole time, Khalil Herbert didn't get any carries. They literally gave all the carries to David Montgomery. So my fantasy team suffered that game. So, like, it's about that time for us to figure out who's going to be the guy and who's going to be the speller here, because I can't take too much of this. But a phenomenal win for the Chicago Bears. This is definitely a morale booster, considering the fact that you came into the New England Patriots, and it's extremely difficult for you to come into Foxborough and win a game in Foxborough, and you took care of business on a national stage. It's definitely not a good look for the New England Patriots. Now, on the flip side for the New England Patriots, I am so happy we put this quarterback controversy to rest, because there have been folks out there very close to me, I'm not going to mention any names, I don't like telling other people's business, that have jumped up and down for Bailey Zapp to be the guy. He's way better than Mac Jones. And I'm just like, yo, you just got to sit here and wait and see, because you get a couple of games of Bailey Zapp. Not a lot of defensive coordinators have a lot of tape on Bailey Zapp. We don't know what his tendencies are. We got to wait. Mac Jones, on the other hand, we've seen Mac Jones for the past, year last year, and a game this year before he got injured. Like, it's going to take some time. Offensive play calling is a little bit sketchy. Especially that read option to Jacoby Myers. That was stupid. Why would you run that? Like, those are the type of play calls I'll be talking about. But I'm so happy we put this thing to rest, because Mac Jones started the game off 3 series. Obviously hasn't played in a couple of games. I'm expecting him to be a little bit rusty, and I felt like after he threw that interception, that was a little bit unfair to him, considering the fact that, again, he was rusty. He hasn't played in a couple of games. He got to get his feet under him, and by Bill Belichick pulling him out the game and putting in Bailey Zapp, I understand Bailey Zapp at the time provides a spark for you, but Mac Jones is your starter. You got to roll with your starter, and I'm not going to say I was happy, but it shows now that we know Mac Jones is the guy. Bailey Zapp threw the 2 interceptions in the second half, even though he had a phenomenal first half where it was like people was tweeting out that he should be in the running for Rookie of the Year. Like, that's how serious it got for Bailey Zapp. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, can we just give this guy a couple more games before we end up sitting down and having this conversation? And like, I feel like the whole team for the New England Patriots really elevated when Bailey Zapp came into the game. I felt like the defense was playing a whole lot better. They were playing lights out. I felt like Ramondre Stevenson, he was stepping up and putting in some serious work for the New England Patriots, for Bailey Zapp to be successful too. So if we could continue that formula with Mac Jones in the lineup, I feel like the New England Patriots would be just fine as far as offensively. And of course, not the bonehead play calling. I don't understand some of the play calls that go in for the New England Patriots. Who is calling the plays? Like, is it Matt Patricia or is it the other guy? But the play calling is ridiculous for the New England Patriots. I'm definitely not on board with that.
Nah, for the bay. Nah, for the bay. Nah, we don't care what you say. Nah, for the bay. Nah, for the bay. Nah, for the bay. Nah, we ain't hearing what you say. Nah, for the bay. Fire!